Welcome to our demo video on the Cosmos. The Vive Cosmos was released on October 3rd of 2019. As such, it's only been out for a few months, and there really aren't very many how-to videos explaining how to use it, so we're going to go over some of the basic functionality. The Cosmos headset, as with most VR headsets, has this chunky bit in the front and your headband. There are several functionalities of this particular headset which are unique, however. You don't have to mount any cameras into your walls because it has built-in proximity sensors in the headset itself. You actually have a totality of 6 cameras. You have one on the top, on the bottom, side, and 2 in the front. As with most cameras, if they get smudgy, they don't work very well. And in this particular case, it's particularly important that you be aware of how clean or dirty your cameras are, because if they get smudgy, they stop working, meaning they stop being able to sense the world around them, and you really don't get a clean experience with your virtual reality. And since that is the main purpose of having a headset, you really want to focus on that. So, if you find that in your VR experience there is an issue with cleanliness, or it simply isn't tracking correctly, you want to first start out with a microfiber towel, which you are going to use to simply gently wipe off each of your cameras. And then you move on to an alcohol swab, thank you very much, which you will again use to simply wipe down each of the cameras in turn. This should remove any grime and smudges on your cameras. You may occasionally end up with a bit of just some droplets from the alcohol swab afterwards, and as such, you can reuse the microfiber towel if you are worried about those, and it will work. Now, as with most VR headsets, there is simply this place in the front where your eyes are going to go. This particular headset comes with the additional feature that you can, once it is on, flip it up so that you can see the world around you. So, you are going to undo the Velcro strap at the top. This knob back here, you can turn to loosen or tighten. You're going to place the box on your eyes and the headband, like so. Make sure this is tight, the Velcro strap is adjusted properly, and you actually have a pupillary distance adjustment thing right here. Adjustment knob right here. Which you can use to simply, when you put on the headset, if you start adjusting, you will see a message show up that asks you to adjust until 3 lines are clear. You also have these earphones, which you can snap down or keep up as comfort suits you. Now, this is how it looks when you have flipped it up. And you can flip it back down again, like so. So now, to continue with the tutorial, we are going to talk about your hand pieces. So, as with most pieces of the Cosmos and most VR headsets, this particular controller is different for each headset, right? So, with the Cosmos, we have this interesting set of configuration here. You can see the Vive, you can see there is a button that also corresponds with the Vive. You are going to press this for a little bit and it will start glowing. When the controller is glowing, you know that it is on. Now, the interesting thing about this particular controller is that it is entirely battery powered and it is not rechargeable, which makes it so that it is standalone. It is very nice that it is a wired connection with the computer, but these are wireless, right? Which is nice because it means that you can use both of them without having to worry too much about the headset. However, the thing to be aware of is that because they are maintaining the glowing ring here to let you know whether they are on, they tend to go through batteries very quickly. So you will probably lose battery power within about 3 hours. The other thing to note is that unlike the traditional controllers of most other headsets, the circle is going up. So this is a right-hand controller for the Oculus Quest, and this is a right-hand controller for the Vive Cosmos. And you will notice that they are configured just a little bit differently. If we look at the top, we have similarly here this button to turn it on, A, B, and your joysticks. However, on the back, you will notice that for the Cosmos, we have 1, 2, 3 triggers. But for the Oculus, you have only 1, 2 triggers. Don't know how clear that is, but there are only 2 triggers. Excellent. As such, if you are in development, you must be aware of this because the extra trigger on the Cosmos gives you some extra functionality, but it also means that your button mappings are inconsistent. So, for example, there is a teleportation with the VRTK if you are building in Unity. And whereas on the Oculus Quest, you could simply press the trigger button to teleport. On the Cosmos, you have to use the trigger, or the joystick rather, push it down and forward and release. It is slightly less intuitive to think of it this way, but you must be aware of the button mappings because it makes a big difference. Now, if you find that your controller has stopped working, you probably need to change the batteries. And so, I am going to show you how to change the batteries. First, you make sure it is powered off. Then, on your controller, you locate the side panel that has this little marking on it. This is indicative of this particular panel being removable. As such, you are simply going to grasp. You need to push with a little bit of force. It will come like this, and then you can remove it. Then you will remove the front battery and use the ribbon to remove the second battery. Now you have simply the controller with your 2 pieces, and in order to put in new batteries, you must be aware the minus goes down on the battery for the inside and the plus goes down on the battery for the outside. You need to have AA batteries. Batteries are marked with the minus and with the plus. And so we are going to make sure that the ribbon stays there. We put the minus side down and we snap the battery into controller. We put the minus side in, we snap it into the controller, and we replace the guard by placing it. Now you will notice that there are some grabby bits that correspond with these little holes. You are going to simply place it in and slide it back up. Now you have your controller fully in one piece again, and you can use it as you wish. So that is the Cosmos headset.